Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. On today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to tie double fan gele. Earlier in the video, I showed a part where I divided the gele into two. This part is called the measurement, where you divide the gele into 50-50 measurement, and then you come forward and then pick your pleat. While picking the pleat, you make use of your index finger to push the gele forward from the inside, and then you tell your client to hold one side of the gele where you've pleated while you adjust the other side of the gele. The purpose of doing this is to ensure that the pleats that you've picked from the beginning are actually well layered. When you are done picking the pleat and setting them, you move to the back and then you start adjusting the gele. So since we don't have anything like shorter hand and longer hand of the gele, you can twist your gele or like turn the gele anyhow you want, whether the front, the left to the above first, or the right one below, whichever one you want. When you are done, you come forward and then you pick your pleat, and then you tell the client to hold the other side of the gele. So while picking the pleat to form your fan, you pick the small one first at the beginning where you put your index finger inside, and then you pick the bigger part of the gele downward. This is to ensure that your fan of the gele is very obvious and funny. So one part of this gele is that while you're picking your gele, while you're picking the pleat, ensure that you are also adjusting and extending the gele downward, but not too downward, because we are going to be stopping at the middle of the head. Like, you have to stop picking your fan at the middle, because it's a two fan gele. You're going to have to pick another part of the plate on the other side using the one that the client is holding. So while you're doing it, adjust your plate very well to prevent any rough side of the plate, and then you start to turn or twist the length of the pleated ones, and then you tell the client to hold that part that you've twisted for you. After which, you come back and then you start to pick on the other side as well. So this part of the gele can be quite tricky for me, because sometimes it's a little bit difficult trying to put the gele because the client is holding it at the back, and it can be a little bit of obstructing for me. If I had someone behind my back, or behind the client's back rather, holding that part, it would have been easier. But this is also not an excuse for me or for you not to get it. So one thing about this part is that when it does not look well, or when the fan is not looking obvious enough, I go back to adjust it, and this is quite normal. Sometimes when you're trying to pleat your gele and it's not looking the way you want it to, you can always go back to readjust your pleat until you get it right, until it feels so right. And this was exactly what I did here. When the fan was not looking fan enough, I had to, scatter it and then start all over again. When you're done with that, you move to the back and then you pin or you tie the two lengths of the gele, the one that the client is holding and the one that I'm holding. One thing I like about my gele is that I like them when they are very, very long, so that by the time I want to tie the gele, it's easier to tie them or to knot the two lengths of the gele together at the back. But since that is not the case here, I had to pin it well or strong enough, while also ensuring that it is not poking the client's head. So when you are done, you see the open space, you close them together and then you pin them down carefully. So when you're done with the back, you come forward again and start adjusting your gele. If you notice that any side of the gele has shifted from the client's ear, you bring it forward a bit while ensuring there's a space for them to put their earrings. You adjust your gele or your fan to the way you want it to look like, carefully and gradually. And you can see what I did here. I even at first had to paint that side to make it look together, but after a while I didn't like that, so I came back and I removed it. And then you adjust the other side of the gele as well, just ensuring that you adjust the gele very well to your perfection, or even if it's not perfect, just ensure that it's close to perfection. Because when you practice enough to ensure that everything is close to perfection, before you know, you start moving up to perfection. Or when you practice enough to make it perfect, you start becoming very close to being perfect. So that's one thing about GELE. You have to keep practicing and practicing till you get it right. Also ensure that the back of your GELE is well tidy and all. And if this video has been beneficial or very good to you, please subscribe, like, comment, and share to somebody you know needs this. So I also do this makeup. Rate me on a scale of 1 to 10. I love my eyebrows, guys. Anyways, I always leave a word of encouragement. Today I just want to say Jesus loves you. Bye.